Welcome to this deep dive. This is where we take the stack of sources you've provided us and really unpack the most important nuggets of knowledge.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Today, we're diving into rentt. It's a platform, seems like it's aiming to shake things up a bit in property management and, well, the whole rental world.
That's right. And your stack for this deep dive is really helpful. We've got bits straight from the Rentt website, their About Us main features, why Rentt,
Yeah.
FAQs, and their contact info. Plus, you sent that note about a chat with the founder. That gives some good extra context.
Exactly. So our mission today is pretty clear. Figure out what rentt actually says it is, break down its, core claims and features, understand who it's for according to them, and really why any of this might matter to you listening. Could be you're a landlord, maybe a tenant looking for a place, or, just interested in PropTech.
Okay, let's unpack this then. So from the sources, Rentt is positioned as this comprehensive property management platform.
Comprehensive, okay.
Yeah, the core idea, like they state it, is really to simplify and streamline the whole rental experience for everyone involved.
And they make it clear it's not just like for the big property companies, right?
No, exactly.
The sources really emphasize it's designed for landlords of any portfolio size. And the promise is pretty big: hassle-free tenant management, and this one's key: reclaim your time.
That is a strong appeal. It really targets those key pain points landlords often talk about.
Totally.
Absolutely. I mean, the frustration of, scattered paperwork, endless emails back and forth, time just disappearing on manual tasks. It's real for a lot of landlords. Rentt seems built to tackle that head on.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting, the features, what they list as the core of their offering. They kick off with portfolio management.
Right.
So for a landlord, that sounds like having all your properties, organized one central spot. No more jumping between spreadsheets or different systems.
Exactly. And that central setup, it ties directly into making other things easier, like property listing.
Okay. The sources say they streamline advertising the vacant places, which makes sense. If all your property info is already there, listing isn't such a manual grind.
Makes sense. What else stands out in the main features? There's a secure in-app chat. I like the sound of that, keeping landlord-tenant communication inside the platform. The sources say it ensures security and efficiency.
Yeah, stops you digging through personal texts.
Exactly. Trying to find that one message about a leaky tap from 3 months ago, forget it.
That integrated communication is definitely key.
Yeah.
Then you've got digital documents.
Okay, tackling the paperwork mountain.
Pretty much. Rentt claims to eliminate physical paperwork, handling contracts, agreements, all digitally.
Which is more than just saving paper, I guess. Easier access, probably more secure storage, simpler signing.
Right, all of that. And kind of underpinning it all, they mention secure authentication.
Yeah, protecting user accounts, sensitive info. When you're dealing with personal details, leases, maybe financial data, you need robust security, like the advanced encryption they mentioned.
Definitely non-negotiable.
They also list property search. Now, this seems aimed more at tenants. Or maybe investors.
Right, finding places.
Yeah, letting them discover and assess properties right there in the platform. So it suggests Rentt isn't just for managing existing rentals, but also for the finding part of the cycle.
Okay, so moving from those main features to the why rentt section in your sources, they seem to elaborate a bit more on the benefits.
They do. Real-time updates are highlighted, getting notifications through the app, so you're always sort of in the loop.
Always good.
And for landlords, a major benefit they emphasize is efficient tenant screening.
The screening process. Always tricky.
Right. The sources claim landlords can easily screen potentials right through the platform, access background checks, credit history, rental references, helps make informed decisions.
And that's often such a time-consuming, fragmented thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Collecting bits from here and there, so consolidating it. That's a potentially big value proposition.
Huge. And it ties right into the next point. The seamless onboarding process.
Getting tenants settled in.
Yeah. Rentt aims to simplify that. Automating things like the lease agreements, getting digital signatures, organizing all the tenant info. Just making that move-in smoother for everyone.
You know that note you included about your chat with the founder? It really seems to line up with all this.
How so?
Well, the takeaway you mentioned was rentt's focus on simplifying property management, and the goal being that if it delivers on these features, it should genuinely save landlords time, money, hassle.
Right. It definitely sounds like they're trying to address those fundamental challenges. Makes sense.
Okay, let's dig a bit deeper. The FAQs you included, they add more color, confirm some things, add some details.
Yeah, the FAQ section is useful. It reiterates the platforms for both landlords and tenants, confirms the listing, the secure chat, the digital documents we already talked about.
But it adds a few specifics too, right? Things we didn't see detailed elsewhere.
It does. For instance, it mentions inventory tracking.
Oh, interesting. Like tracking what's actually in the unit. Furniture, appliances.
Seems like it. A practical piece of managing properties, keeping those records straight. That's new from the FAQ.
And it explains how to list property.
Yep. It says you log in, go to portfolio management, follow the steps, add details, images, etc. Pretty standard workflow, but, good, it's confirmed.
Okay. And security comes up again?
It does. The FAQ confirms they use advanced encryption and secure authentication, just reinforcing that point about safeguarding data, which is important for users to see.
Definitely. Now, here's something fascinating in the FAQ. Virtual viewings.
Ah, yes. Showcasing property remotely.
Which is, well, incredibly relevant now, isn't it? Enhances convenience, lets tenants tour without being physically there. That's a big feature.
Absolutely. And regarding tenant screening, the FAQ confirms landlords get access to comprehensive tenant profiles. Rental history references reinforces that earlier claim.
Okay, this next one from the FAQ is interesting. A rewards program.
Yeah, I saw that. Exclusive benefits, incentives, discounts, special offers, perks for both landlords and tenants.
That feels unusual for a property management tool, doesn't it?
It does. It kind of suggests they're thinking beyond just the, transaction side, maybe trying to build loyalty, keep people on the platform.
Could be. The FAQ also confirms a property maintenance feature.
Right, letting landlords manage maintenance tasks, handle requests efficiently through the platform. Another critical, often messy part of the job, potentially streamlined.
Definitely messy sometimes.
Yeah.
And you can even refer people.
Yeah, a referrals feature. Use it, share rent, earn rewards if others sign up and engage. Pretty standard stuff, but good to know it's there.
And what about property types?
The FAQ clarifies that. Currently focused on residential,
Okay.
but they are exploring expansion into commercial properties down the line.
Good to know their scope. And finally, feedback.
Yep. They explicitly welcome it. Give an email, hello@rentt.app. Suggests they're open to user input, which is, always a good sign for a platform that's likely still evolving.
Absolutely. So, okay, let's pull this together. What does this all mean for you, the listener, based purely on these sources you sent?
Well, Rentt is presenting itself as this platform designed to essentially consolidate and simplify. Take all those different tasks involved in managing property or finding a rental home and put them in one place.
Right. So for landlords, the message seems clear. Rentt wants to be, and they actually say this, the best way to manage and grow your property portfolio by saving you time, money, hassle, using all those features like integrated management, screening, digital docs, maintenance tools.
Exactly. And then for tenants, the promise, according to the sources anyway, is it's the best way to find your next home because it's meant to be easy, fast, free, and have potentially thousands of listings.
So this deep dive, using your sources, really gives you a snapshot of how Rentt is positioning itself in the rental market. They're aiming to be that single tool, right?
Seems like it. Handling everything from listing and finding places,
Screening applicants, managing digital contracts, communication.
tracking inventory, handling maintenance requests, even adding rewards. It's kind of a shortcut to understanding the sheer breadth of features they're trying to pack into one place.
And logistically, how do people access it?
The sources say it's accessible via dedicated Android and iOS apps, which makes sense for something you'd use on the go.
Right. And if you actually wanted to contact them.
Your sources provided the email hello@rentt.app, a UK phone number, +447 852 509347, and even a physical address in Horsham, UK.
Okay.
And their website also lists, the usual stuff. Blog, about us, contact, and the important legal policies, privacy terms, security.
Okay, so here's the final, maybe provocative thought to leave you with. If a single platform can truly integrate all these things we've talked about, listing, search, screening, secure chat, digital contracts, maintenance, rewards, the works into one smooth system,
Yeah.
how fundamental could that actually shift the expectations, the interactions between landlords and tenants compared to how it often works today, all fragmented and sometimes difficult?
That is a thought worth considering. How much could it really change things?
Exactly. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into Rentt, all based on the fantastic sources you shared with us.
Yeah, we've covered what Rent aims to be, walked through the key features and benefits it claims for simplifying management, simplifying searching.
And pulled out those specifics from the FAQs and other sections you provided.
Hopefully this gives you, the listener, a really clear picture of the platform Rent is presenting to the market and, its potential impact on the rental experience.
Thanks so much for bringing us this stack of sources. It made for a great deep dive.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in.